Oh, Alyssa, you are on it. Let's go. Let's see. Just waiting on Alyssa to join. She's already requested. Ah, hey girl.
Hi,
You joined really quickly. That worked really well. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna allow a little bit more people to join before we actually get started.
Okay,
This is the second episode of Live with Lex, by the way, y'all. This will be a continued series. I'm excited to have Alyssa on today, but I guess we actually can go ahead and get started, to be honest.
okay,
Alrighty. All right, like I mentioned, this is the second episode of Live with Legs. I am your host, Alexis Pierce. I am here with Alissa Pili, current Minnesota Lynx forward, Utah standout, all Pac-12 Player of the Year. I think the only player in Utah history to do that. Fastest player to score 1,000 points in 48 games. 13 state titles in 5 different sports in high school. I mean, the list really goes on, y'all. But like I said, I'm so excited to dive into this episode with you, Alyssa. How are you, and what have you been up to since the season concluded?
Um, I've been just here in Minnesota working out. I've gone in and out doing I did a Nike appearance
Hmm.
for N7, with a few of other athletes that are signed to them too. So it was pretty cool to do. Like we did a panel, which was I thought it was cool to just bring like the indigenous athletes together, like because I've never met them before, so it was cool to be face to face and just have
Hmm.
conversations and stuff. And then I went to Phoenix for USA basketball 3-on-3,
Hmm. How was that?
which I'll be going to. It was good. It was really fun. I really liked just the whole, I don't know, pace of the
Mhm.
game and how it is with that. So I'll be going to Puerto Rico on Monday as an alternate for them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that, I've just been chilling here in Minnesota. It's getting cold.
Yes, it's getting so cold. Have you been able to work out? Been in the gym? Like, what has been like your routine?
Yeah, so I go 5 days a week,
Mhm.
pretty much throughout the whole week, and then I'll have basketball workouts. I'll have like 2 a day, so I'll have basketball workouts and then my lift and conditioning. And then I've basically just been doing that every day, and then just so like we all kind of have the weekend off. I won't go in on weekends, but I'll still have a workout like on Sunday. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That's what's up. That's good to hear. So I've been doing a lot of research on you, and I'm honestly just impressed by your story. Like I've laughed, I've cried, just watching videos, reading articles, all that you've been able to accomplish from high school to college, now to the W, the adversity that you went through, while not even having so many resources at your disposal. You know, coming from Anchorage, Alaska, you talked about having to travel out of state to be seen in front of college coaches to actually play at the next level.
Mhm.
I want to give you the opportunity to give the viewers a little bit about you, your backstory, growing up in Anchorage. Like, I don't know a lot of people that grew up in Anchorage, so I want you to be able to kind of give your backstory growing up and how it was.
Yeah, so I have a really big family. There's 9 of us kids, so I have a bunch of, I'm second oldest, so I have a bunch of younger siblings. Um, it was honestly, I had a great childhood. Like I have no complaints.
Mm-hmm.
Living in Alaska was really fun, and like ever since I've moved and lived in different states, like it's so much different from just like I don't know. Like I lived in LA for 3 years and then Utah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like so much bigger with so much more people. And I just felt like you don't really notice like living there your whole life is all you know, so like you don't really
Right.
notice how like kind of isolated it is and how much people like don't know what Alaska is like. So I mean, just for everybody on here, Alaska is just like any other city. Like we don't live in igloos, we don't, you know,
Because I mean
we don't do.
that's how like movies kind of portray it,
Yeah,
no? Like I really feel like it's like igloos, like it's like so cold. Like does it not the sun doesn't go down and all that stuff. Like I've heard so many crazy things. So that's how I portray it too.
yeah. No, I get it for sure. Cause like all the shows and stuff we would watch, that like were related to Alaska, it was all like in the middle of nowhere and they have no resources at all. But so I grew up in Barrow, Alaska, which is the northernmost point in the United States, and that place is like a smaller village. So once I turned, I want to say I was around 8 or 9 years old where we moved to Anchorage, which is like it's the biggest city in Alaska. So
Hmm.
like as far as sports and all of that, once me and my older brother we're getting older to where we're like trying to get into sports and things like that, my parents moved us to Anchorage, and there's a lot more opportunity for that there. And yeah, so I grew up. My first sport was football. I played with my brother, and my dad was my coach. And then I had a bunch of like my older cousins and my uncles were like helping out with the coaching staff and
Hmm.
stuff. So I was super like just surrounded by family all the time. And then I started playing basketball when I was 8, I think third grade, and my dad was my coach, and
Hmm.
our team was basically like me, my little sisters, and then some of my cousins around the same age as me. So again, like just being surrounded by family and doing things with them, it was super fun. So I think that part of being from Alaska has really like, I don't know, it's made me who I am in the sense where like I'm very like community oriented person and like family oriented person. Just because, like in Alaska, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah,
So it's very tight knit. And yeah, like I love growing up there. Even though like it was tough for not only for me, but for other athletes as
hmm,
well, to get like exposure to really make it to the next level. And so I think for me, like once I got to high school, my high school coach had a lot of connections with like college coaches, um and then when I started playing AAU, we started going to tournaments like in Oregon and Chicago where there's a bunch of good
yeah,
teams and a lot of eyes on you, like a lot of coaches watching. So once I went out and started doing that, like pretty much every summer, I think my stock started to go up and I started to get offers and things like that. But it doesn't work that way with everybody because like I was very fortunate to where like we had very talented AAU teams traveling out. And so we were able to compete against like some of the top teams from out of state, which drew in like, there was players on their teams where college coaches were already like on their radar. So, they would come to our games, and that's how like we kind of got that exposure. And yeah, like it was tough, and it's definitely still tough. Like my older brother, he's in the NFL now, but he didn't have any offers until his senior year when he moved out of state to Oregon and started playing football
hmm,
there. So I mean that just goes to show like how much of a difference that makes.
yeah.
But yeah, like, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing because I feel like being from Alaska and from a community like that and just being always surrounded by family and people who love me like really helped me to like to get to where I'm at right now.
For sure. You talked about how your family obviously has played a pivotal role in like where you are today. I mean, you talked about how your dad was your coach. Having eight siblings, you being the oldest girl, having a large community like that. How has that support impacted your journey thus far?
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, I think when you're surrounded by just a bunch of love and support, like all it does is push you forward, even when you may not think you can do it, or you have some doubts in your mind. Like you have a bunch of people around you who believe in you and kind of like get you through those tough moments. And I would just say like a lot of my family, like my mom would do fundraisers for me and my siblings, like to go out of state to play in front of, like, to get exposure. So without that and without all that sacrifice that, a lot of my family, like they would always support like financially or whatever they had to do to help me get where I wanted to be. So I just think like having that support system like at a young age, and like pursuing a goal that, requires a lot of that.
Yeah.
And well, I would say it doesn't require it maybe, but like it definitely helps a lot for you to have people to rely on and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm super grateful for all the people who have helped me, and my family is really tight, and they'll, it's hard. It's funny because, like, it's hard for my dad, like, because when I was growing up, like, I never went to any trainers, I never went to nothing, because
He was
he was always so,
your
like,
coach, like the
yeah,
whole yeah.
exactly. And he saw something in us to where, like, he knew we were going to be so successful and make it
I
far,
love it.
and he didn't want anybody who wasn't in our circle to kind of, like, um take advantage of that or anything like that. So
Wow, that is crazy. Having I couldn't even imagine honestly having my dad as my like I would work out my dad sometimes, but he wasn't my primary trainer. Like I could not imagine. But like you mentioned, like you guys being a tight knit family,
mhm.
do you think that's where your competitiveness came from? Just like your grit, like having grown up with all your siblings and then your dad being your head coach.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, like, me and my older brother used to go at it all the time. And my dad, he would, like I said, like, I wasn't over here training with trainers and things like that. Like, he would literally take us on weekends to go to the gym that was open 24 hours. Like, I think we would go like 10, 11 at night, and we would be there till like early in the morning, like 2
He
in the
wasn't
morning.
playing around.
Yeah, so I mean, it was definitely hard, and he's a person who's he just shows a lot of tough love, and has instilled, like, this discipline and being, like, mentally tough in all of us. But I mean, the thing I loved about my dad, like, especially, like, playing for him for football and seeing, like, what he does to change, like, his perspectives on um just, like, playing on a team and being in that sport. Like, he always challenged you, but he's gonna find a way to make it fun to where you're still enjoying it. So there's a bunch of kids for our football team that came in at first, was like, oh, I don't want to be here, like, my mom made me come. And by the end of it, like, they loved it. So um I mean, like I said, definitely tough, but it was always worth it and always fun in the end.
Hmm. Did you what position did you play in
uh
football?
I was offensive line and defensive line.
What kind of drills did y'all like? What kind of like I don't know. Tell me a little more. Like what kind of drills did y'all do? Like how was it? Like tell me a little bit more.
So um my dad, he he was just funny because he liked to embarrass the boys a lot. So we would do, like, one-on-one drills to where, like, um you're basically lined up against somebody, and you either, like, the person on offense trying to block them from getting to the quarterback, and then the person on defense obviously trying to get the quarterback.
Hmm.
And so he would just, like, put me on the line and have me block, and then he would go through the whole line of boys until somebody, and we would be going for a while.
Because
So
nobody could get past you.
I mean, eventually they did, but it
Eventually,
was, I
but it took some time.
mean, yeah.
And that actually takes me to when I was watching the video when you guys went up to Alaska and you played in I think the Great Alaska tournament and all your family was there, your family, your extended family. And it was just a beautiful thing to see, honestly, from you just saying how you were excited and really grateful to see your coaches and your teammates witnessing like your culture, your heritage, where you came from ultimately. And then also you talked about how your siblings and then your cousins were in the stands, and there are some people who look up to you. It just really seems as if you really hold your community near and dear to your heart, and knowing that you have a duty, you have a responsibility to be your best self at all times. You know what I mean? How has just that structure of knowing that hey I have to be my best self in order to build up my community, knowing that I have people looking up to me
um
or looking up to you rather.
yeah. It definitely holds me to, or makes me hold myself to a standard. And like you said, like, I have a bunch of younger siblings, and then, like, younger cousins, and everybody who, like, still lives in Alaska. So just being a role model for them, I think, like, I don't know, having that position, I think, or being in that position has, like, helped me make myself better, I think, just because, like, you think about, like, I'm somebody who's always thinking about others, and, like, I'm thinking about the people who have helped me get this far. And like another thing is like I don't want it to end with me. Like I want
And to keep
um
going,
yeah,
keep it going.
exactly. Like I want my siblings to be great. If it's sports or whatever it is,
Yeah.
like I just want to kind of, I don't know, help out with that exposure, and help out with, just the opportunity and the doors that are closed. A lot of doors are closed for, people back home and the younger generation there. So I'll just try my best to kind of open those for them and like my younger siblings, my younger cousins, everything. They know they could come to me for anything if they need any advice or whatever. And I've done a lot of just um like talking with my younger brother. He plays football and he just actually just got announced today. He got Gatorade Player of the
Let's
Year
go.
over there in Alaska.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah,
Because
but
wait, how many times did you win Gatorade Player of the Year?
three times.
She a bucket, y'all. Like you heard it here. Like not to take away from your brother, but that just goes to show like you're really making an impact in your family. Like that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's an honor because like I don't know, people, everybody else may see me like up here, and then like my family when I go home, I get humbled and I'm like right here. So so it's always fun like getting to, compete in whatever we do, like car games or, like I don't know, just dumb stuff that we should really be fighting over, but it just kind of it's what helped me be a competitor when I was younger. So just carrying that on to my younger siblings and everybody is super important, I think.
When I was when I was watching the video, Alyssa, I think what really stood out to me was I think this actually goes to the character of who you are. I don't know, just watching you, but just how humble you are. You know what I mean? Just by the experience that you were able to go play in front of your family. Like I thought that was really dope for them to give you that experience. But then on the flipping of that, just how, like I said, how humbled you were by the experience, the way you took it in. I just want to give you your flowers there because I think that was something that was really what I took from it. Just how humble, how just grateful for you were for the opportunity to go play in front of your home crowd. I cried. That was the part I cried at because I'm like, man, that's such a great experience. Because not everybody, especially as athletes, being a former athlete, not everybody or your coaches and your teammates are able to go into your community and
Hmm.
see where you're from and what you're about. So just seeing how humbled you were by that experience, just kind of shows goes to show how humble you are and just your character in that regard. So I just wanted to say that too.
Thank you. I appreciate
No
that.
problem. But let's talk about these 13 state championships because I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, four in volleyball, two in basketball, four in shot put, two in discus, one in wrestling. I just have two questions. How did you manage to play five different sports in high school? I don't know. I couldn't even play over three. And then how did you manage to be good at all of them at the same time? Like, I don't think y'all really understand, like all of y'all that are watching, how hard it is to get one state championship. So let alone 13. So tell me a little bit about how you were able to play so many sports in high school and then be good at them too.
Yeah. I mean, all my life, my dad has put us like in different sports and like kind of let us have the ability to just experience everything. And also like his like strategy behind it or whatever he calls it is like you kind of take away these different skills or like these different things from each sport that help you in the sport that you want to pursue. And like for basketball there's so much like things that go into it, and so like doing a bunch of different sports I think helped me out with just being kind of versatile.
Mm-hmm.
And so but I mean I would go, so the first season we had was volleyball, and then I only wrestled 1 year because I hated it. I didn't want to do it. And so like I got out of it my freshman year
Mm-hmm.
and then my sophomore year. So wrestling season like overlaps with volleyball season. So I waited till volleyball season was over and then I got into wrestling. But by the time volleyball season was over, wrestling was already into like regional championship and like state championship like coming up pretty quick. And so um like I really just got into wrestling like as soon as I was done with volleyball, and then right as wrestling was starting up, basketball was starting up at the same time. Our like preseason where we would just
Mm.
do our tryouts and uh, just run. That's all we would do, literally.
It seemed like you just had like a flashback.
No, literally, it's so. Oh man, I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I got through that, but so I would literally go from wrestling practice at 3 p.m. to like 5:30, and then I would have basketball practice from 6 to 8. And so I literally just go straight from wrestling to basketball practice. And the thing about wrestling is you have to make a certain weight, and so I had to lose like 20 pounds
Mm.
within like 3.5 weeks maybe. And so that's the part where like it got a little unhealthy. So my dad didn't make me do wrestling after that at all.
Mm.
So but yeah, once I mean I didn't have many matches in wrestling, so it was kind of a short season for me. So once that was over, basketball was right there. And then after basketball was over, then track and field started up um, pretty quickly behind it, I think. And so, yeah, it was just, I mean, I was just in sports nonstop, like throughout the year. And um, I mean, they kind of, besides like wrestling, where it overlapped with both volleyball and basketball, like
Mm.
everything kind of like started and stopped like at the right time. So I was able to do that.
At what point did you realize like basketball was the sport that you wanted to continue, or was basketball always a sport and you just play extracurricular sports?
Yeah, for the most part, basketball was always the sport I wanted to pursue. At first, when I started playing football, like that was definitely my favorite sport. Until I got to maybe like junior high, like seventh, eighth grade, and I started doing like the travel teams with AAU and stuff like that. I started to take basketball more seriously, and I thought that's what I wanted to do in college. So um, yeah, I think the other sports were just kind of extracurricular.
Alice, I want to transition here a little bit and just kind of talk about your decision to sign with AU. What went into the decision to sign with AU as opposed to playing overseas?
So coming off of my college season straight into the WNBA season, I just wanted kind of like a break from a season just to kind of focus on me and like my health and just my overall like training. Like there were specific things that I wanted to do and focus on. So that's like AU is the perfect opportunity to do that because it doesn't start till February. So I have a little bit like a few months in between to where I could really just um, focus on my training, my body, my health, and everything that you kind of it's harder to focus on when you're in a season. So and also like I really like seek interest in like the way it's the system and everything like that. So I think it'll be fun.
What was like your favorite part about AU? Like learning about it, what was your favorite part?
I think it's just interesting how like there's like new teams every week
Hmm.
and captains and stuff like that. Like I really like how it's player led too because like something I need to work on is like my leadership, and it's because it like once I got to college, like when I was a freshman, it was something I needed to work on. And then I kind of found my voice. I found my role in like being a leader. And then you come to the WNBA and you're a rookie, and then you kind of have to start over and find that again. So I think how it's being like player led and stuff like that will help me out with that a little bit.
I think I'll quote that Coach Lynn said from Utah. She said, "You don't talk much, but when you do talk, people listen." And I really like that she said that because you seem like you don't, like you're just kind of to yourself until it's time to really be a leader on the floor, and people really gravitate towards you. So I really think that AU would be the place for that. It was a quote that Alicia Clark said in an article, and I want to read it verbatim. She said, coming from like, this was coming from a vet. So she stated that she remembers when there was a time where you had to go overseas and there wasn't an option. I think that says a lot just about the trajectory of where women's sports is going. You know, what is to you, what does that say about the growth of women's sports?
I mean, it says a lot because like I was sitting over here like maybe like a couple months ago watching the Sue Bird documentary, and
Mm-hmm.
her and like Diana Taurasi were talking about how like like nobody wants to go overseas, but like you got to do it like for the money and like just
Yeah,
playing and stuff, like because there's no other opportunity besides the WNBA here in the States where you can like fulfill all of that. So I mean, I think it's a super cool opportunity that there's starting to be more leagues in the States. And because being in a whole nother country and you're like kind of isolated away from your family, from your friends and everything, it could be like very mentally draining and just I don't know, it could be very, I guess, like dark and negative
mm,
sometimes. Like, and that's kind of where I was at with it. Like, I didn't want to, because I know what it's like to be like dig yourself in a hole when you're not happy and you're not mentally like in it. And so I think having that option for players to stay in the States and be not across the country.
not across the country, literally.
Yeah. So I think it's super cool, and it just goes to show like that there is positive change happening within the women's basketball community. So
Alyssa, what is it that you hope to get out of AU for the season four? We're in Nashville. What are you most excited about? And what do you hope to gain from it? I think you kind of already mentioned it, like the leadership is leadership ability. But what else do you feel like you really want to gain from playing as you just finished up your rookie season? What else do you feel like you can gain from playing with AU?
yeah, I think like this when I went to the 3-on-3 for USA basketball, it kind of opened up my eyes to playing with other players that you're usually playing against and stuff like that. So I think that part will be really fun and something I'm looking forward to. And then I mean, just building relationships, because I know it's a very like supportive, like I don't know, it seems very, because I know I talked to Megan about they asked each player what a cause
Hmm.
is that they're passionate. I think that's so cool to incorporate that into the league, and what you're doing, like you could play and still do this at the same time. Like I think, like from what I've learned and from what I've seen and heard so far about AU, is that um it's just evident that they're making it bigger than just basketball. And so I think that part is really cool and something I'm looking forward to as well.
That's awesome. A lot of our players have that same response. I think having that causes program, like you mentioned, just really is bigger than basketball. That's what I love about AU as well. Just having something that you can, like it's player led. You can choose what it is you want to play for. You don't have to go overseas. You don't have to go overseas to continue to work on your game to continue to make an impact in the community. So that's awesome to hear. I always like to ask this question, Alyssa. What advice, or for you particularly, what advice would you give to Polynesian girls back home, watching you and looking up to you?
I would just say to not put yourself in a box, and no matter where you are, or no matter how isolated you may feel or whatever it is, like because there's not a lot of women's basketball players at the pro level, at the college level, that are Polynesian or are indigenous. So um, I would just say to use me as your belief and your hope that you could someday do the same thing if that's what you want to do, and to really just lean on your community and take advantage of being in an environment that is just set up for you to just grow and evolve. Yeah.
Nice. So we're gonna move in to the fan questions. Just only have four for you. I'm gonna read. What area of your game are you looking to continue to develop during the time with AU? I think they mean like physically, like what area of your game do you feel like you are going to use this time at AU to develop?
I think like every part of it. Like I feel like I said before, like being player led, like might give you a little more freedom to do like kind of step out of like being in a set role.
Mm-hmm.
So I think um just dang, I don't know like any specific. The things I've been working on is just like being explosive and being like able to do quick bursts and things like that instead of staying one speed, like change of speed type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so yeah, I think that's what like the stuff I'm working on now is things that I'll try to um just like include when I'm playing for AU and focus on to get better at like while I'm playing live and stuff like that.
Somebody said, and it's funny because I watched this in one of your other interviews. How tall are you really? And this kind of talks about like what you just said. Like people don't even know. Like go ahead. You tell.
I'm 5'10", and people only got this confused because when I went to Utah, so I was listed at 6 foot. So like I would say I'm close to 6 foot with basketball shoes on.
Yeah.
When I got to Utah, they changed my height to 6'2", and I was just like, I had people sending it to me being like, "Did you grow 2 inches?" That wasn't me, but I don't claim to be over 6 foot. I have
You don't
um,
claim it, y'all. You don't claim it.
so yeah, 5'10" is the answer.
5'10". Okay, bad. But you play like you 6'2". So I think that's why they put it on there. Cause yeah, you play like you 6'2". Like it's really no getting around. You so strong, so tough, amazing footwork. So I'll give you the 6'2". I'm gonna give you the 6'2" just because of your skill set. The 6'2" is there. The height may actually not be, but the ability is there. The next question, what has been the most difficult part of transitioning from college to the pros?
I think just kind of having to restart because once you're done with college, you like kind of leave behind something that you've built over the years, and something that like things that you developed over the years, and then when you get to the pros, it's kind of like you're a freshman all over again. So but I would say like the biggest thing for me was definitely like trying to find my role and trying to just find different ways to keep getting better regardless of like if I'm playing or not and things like that. So that's definitely something that I struggled with and that I feel like myself I didn't get done. So like right now in the off season, it's something that I'm very like determined to do.
What has been your favorite memory playing basketball?
Like ever.
I guess ever. They weren't specific. So I guess ever. What has been your favorite memory? Well, I
Hmm.
want to say let's give each one: high school, college,
Okay.
and the pros.
Okay. High school definitely be my last state championship my senior year because the year before we went undefeated and we won state, but I would say my senior year because my younger sister was a freshman when I was a senior and she was
Mm,
also on varsity, so we won that one together. And like I got to play with some of my best friends, um and it was just I don't know, it was like it wasn't like a perfect season, but it was like we had some like bumps in the road, but I feel like it's just that much more rewarding when like things get tough and
yeah,
not when like perfect that we're always beating everybody. So
right.
and then college I would say my first year at Utah when we beat Stanford for like we got co-champs of the conference, but
Hmm.
it was really like the championship for the conference, like the number one seed. So
Hmm.
I was at that game for sure. And then now, I mean, shoot, the whole finals really, but definitely, shoot, was it game one when Courtney hit the and 1 3? Oh my God,
Crazy.
that crazy right
Like
there.
I
That was
still got the meme of her like just sitting there like, yeah, like that whole series was actually crazy,
Yeah,
but that was crazy. Like that was crazy. And to be
yeah,
there witness that, that was crazy. That was probably one of probably the best series that I probably ever watched, not gonna lie.
yeah. It was really good. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
No, it really was crazy. All right, Alyssa, this is actually you're the first person to do rapid fire. I didn't get a chance to do it, Alicia, last week. But so
Oh,
I'm gonna ask you what I got 6 questions for you. It doesn't really have to be that fast, to be honest, but
that's
just answer. It doesn't really have to actually be that fast, but just answer at your speed. Okay. Who was your top 5 on Spotify rap
um.
or Apple Music
Okay,
rap?
I was gonna say I don't listen to
Me either.
Spotify. Wait, on what
Or Apple, like who was your top 5? Like the
artist?
yeah, top 5 of artist album to wrap up 2024.
Mm, I don't know exactly, but
Mm-hmm.
from what I've been listening to, I would say Summer Walker, um,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Kehlani,
Her.
Drake, uh, 2 more. Um, oh my gosh.
All right, we got Summer, Drake, Kaylani.
Uh-huh.
Who is your like? Who do you listen to before a game?
Um, I
Because
don't.
I know it's not Summer.
I mean, I don't really listen to music before games, to be honest. Like whatever is playing out on the court, I'll just,
That's what you listen
yeah.
to. I respect that. So not
Uh,
you got 2 more.
let me see. I think I listen to Fiji a lot. He's an island artist. And then one more. Uh, they like Frank Ocean, maybe.
For sure. So we got Summer, Drake, dang, what was the other 3?
Uh,
I just
oh,
forgot too.
Kehlani,
Pilani.
Fiji, and what was the last one I said?
I don't even remember. Um, I don't remember.
My God, terrible at this.
No, it's okay. It's okay. That's the top 5. We got it. We got it. We're gonna run it. We're gonna run the tape back. When I post it, we're gonna run it back. What's your favorite food?
Um, my favorite food is my mom's spaghetti for sure.
Yeah, I love that answer. Cause my mom like I don't think nobody's talking about my mom. That's how I be feeling. So when it be like it's not a restaurant, it's mom's cooking, I gotta respect that. Winter or summer?
Summer. You don't. I don't even gotta hesitate on the answer.
You gotta hesitate. Would you rather would you rather miss a wide open layup or an air ball or free throw?
Miss a wide open.
100%. I would not want to miss a airball free throw. Like that is embarrassing. I feel like with a wide open layup, like it's other factors that can play. Like you can slip, like your shoe can be untied, like you know what I mean? It's just like it's other variables in it. But shooting a free throw, like you're by yourself, nobody is touching you, like the game is not going. So yeah, 100% missing a wide open layup. Who are you most excited to play with this season?
Um, for AU.
Mhm.
Hmm. Oh, I actually. Oh wait, I don't know if you guys announced this yet, but so I won't say actually
Okay,
this person, but um, I went to 3-on-3 with Maddie Segrist, so it was fun playing with her. I think that'll be cool.
that's what's up. What are you looking for most? I guess off the floor. To season 4.
I think just like I said before, like getting to know the girls, and because I know we're all staying in the same place, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. It'll be cool to kind of get to know uh the other players off the court. So
That's what's up. I'm excited to have you, Alyssa, for season 4. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. And I know schedules are busy, but thank you for taking some time out
Or,
to chat with me today. Thank you to the audience, to the viewers for listening to me and Alyssa chop it up. Season 4 in Nashville will be February 5th to March 2nd. So get your tickets, links all over, links in bio, links on the website. Get your tickets if you want to see Alyssa play. Like I said, Alyssa, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
of course, I appreciate you.
No problem. I think I will see you in February too. So I'm excited. All right, girl.
All right.
All right.